Hello again all. So today is episode 3 of my series about scams, how to stop them, how to spot them, how to protect yourself, and also by sharing it, how to protect and help others. So we've already covered email scams and we've also covered off text message scams. So today's episode is about Facebook and social media scams. I'm going to focus predominantly on Facebook, just as that is where, personally at least, I've seen the vast majority of them, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist on other social media platforms, as I'm sure they do. Now, as most of us have a Facebook page or Facebook profile, whether it be personal, business, or something else, some of these may be quite eye-opening and hopefully quite informative. So once again, as mentioned previously, the nature of lots of these scams is either financial or for the purpose of gathering information about you, or to gather details that will allow a scammer access to accounts on either social media or potentially even something more serious such as your banking account. So its purpose is to collect information about you and the services and sites you use. So one of the first ones that I want to kind of tackle in regards to Facebook scams are scams that ask you to share their post. Now, as with other scams that I've come across and mentioned, a lot of these often promise or offer some form of reward, be it money, vouchers, or an item, holidays, things such as that. It's an offer to lure you in and to make you share them. Now, the process necessarily of sharing the post isn't necessarily too big a deal, although people can see who has shared their post through Facebook analytics. That will only potentially give a scammer some information, such as your name. Depending on your profile privacy policy, you could give them more, because they can then click on your account, look through all of your posts, your photos, your information, and see details such as that. If you have a very locked down profile, they may only see your name. But often those kinds of scams and posts require you to also click some form of link that also will look to harvest your information. Now, one of the big tricks with scams that share the posts, it's more about gathering information on people. So you share it to somebody, that person shares it, so on and so forth. Before you know it, thousands of people have potentially shared a post, and it also shows the scammers, as mentioned, potentially profile information, but also it shows them that you are likely to fall for other types of scams. Now, nobody likes to think of themselves as susceptible to things such as this, but by falling for these share posts, it does show the scammers that you at least have some form of interest in stuff like this, so therefore they can look to target and tailor future attacks towards yourself. Now, one person, not exactly a big target, but as mentioned, you share it, 2 of your friends share it, 2 of their friends share it. Before you know it, it's a very large number of people, and that's a very large database of people that scammers can then target in the future. So, by not sharing it, you are helping to stop the spread of it and also protect those that you care about and those that are friends with yourself on social media. Now, another form of scam that does crop up, not necessarily as common, but normally off the back of things such as share post scams, where they at least have your name so they can click on your account and potentially message you, are direct or DM direct message scams, where basically you receive a message from somebody. Now, the contents of that message can vary. One that does crop up is a fake video message. Now, it will be a very short message saying, "I've seen this video, you're in it, I think you should have a look." You click on the video, you go to click on the video, and it may open a link on another website, and then potentially, depending on how secure your system is, that website could potentially look to infect your device with some form of virus or malware. Now, in and of itself, the messages will normally be quite kind of mundane, but they can be more serious. There can be messages of, "We have a video that shows you doing something not safe for work," as it were, so something adult or potentially illegal within the video. That then causes you to panic. Now, that panic is what the scammers are looking for. They want you to panic, they want you to be afraid. Nobody wants to have to see a video where they might be doing something wrong or illegal and face potential consequences, such as losing your job, losing friends, family, things such as that. So it causes panic in you. Now, as long as you've not done anything illegal or posted anything somewhere that you don't want to, as it were, that is fine. Now, by all means, I'm not saying don't kind of pursue adult endeavours, as it were, but if you are going to do things like that, protect yourself, be sensible, be clever. Don't give away your personal details, your personal information. Don't link things to your personal accounts. Keep your private and public life separate. Now, once again, if you're not sure, don't click on anything. I've said it before, but if you're not sure about anything at all, don't click on it. Be it a link, a video, a picture, anything such as that, do not click it. By clicking it, you are potentially opening yourself up to being exploited, to having viruses installed, which can lead to much bigger consequences. Now, moving on to another one is a verification message. So once again, this will come in the form of a direct message, normally from an account that is set up to look rather professional and looks like it is from the social media platform you are using. It is there to try and lure you in to logging in to your account. Normally the link within it will take you to a page that very, very closely looks like the official social media platform's login page. You will put your information in. It will normally spit out an error saying your details are incorrect. What it is actually doing though is capturing that information, be it your email address or your password. Now, as we all know, and does unfortunately happen, people do use the same passwords for a lot of accounts. They might see it spit out an error and they might think, okay, I need to change my password. Now, they might even have a process to trick you in to setting up a new password. That then means that you've given them two passwords. This is all in the vein of capturing information about you as a person and potentially accessing your other accounts on other platforms such as email, other social media platforms, or potentially even something more serious such as your banking. Now, once again, plays upon your fears, plays upon your fear of losing information and losing access to your profile. A lot of us have put a lot of years worth of time into our social media presence, and none of us want to see that disappear overnight. Quite a lot of the time, messages say that if you don't log in, your account will be deleted or blocked permanently. And once again, things like this do happen. Companies do look to prune accounts and delete information that isn't needed anymore. But normally this will happen after a long period of time, such as several years. In the case of Facebook, it doesn't actually delete them, as there are also users on Facebook, I say users, which are actually deceased. The number of deceased users on Facebook is actually getting close to the number of active users. Memorial pages can be set up, and they will remain active. Can't quite say for how long they will remain active for, but there will probably come a point where they will also be deleted, just to try and free up some space. Server space for companies such as Facebook is massive, but the amount of information that people put online is equally massive. There will come a point where companies do look to prune data to save themselves some costs, and also to try and move forward with their platforms. But as mentioned with these verification messages, do not click on any links. If you are unsure if a message is legitimate, do your research. See if other people have had messages with the same wording, the same phrasing. If so, odds are it's a scam. If not, potentially look to contact the social media platform teams themselves and send them screenshots to see if it is legitimate. If it is, they can take you through the process of going through the steps. If not, they will advise you of it. They can then also look to launch investigations into if your account has been compromised, and also look to shut down the accounts that are propagating these scams. It's again another one that does crop up very often, especially around certain times of year, such as Christmas, Black Friday, New Year, things such as that. Whenever there are big sales going on, are voucher scams. Now, these scams offer yourself some form of voucher or discount code so that you can spend it at a retailer that you like. One that I see quite often is Argos and Asda. They crop up quite often. Now, Asda doesn't actually have a reward scheme as such. Argos, they do promotional vouchers and such. So you spend over a certain amount, you get a voucher that you can then use on your next purchase. Now, once again, these scams are relatively easy to spot. One of the first things to always check is the page that is posted or shared the post. Facebook has a very useful tool in that it shows verified pages. These pages have been checked and shown to be run in a legitimate way and to not be pushing out scams. If a page isn't verified, personally I say don't trust it. Now, there are kind of smaller pages that aren't verified, such as fan pages and things such as that. Doesn't mean that they're not legitimate, but if something is offering you a voucher or a promotion or some sort of reward and it isn't verified, odds are it isn't legit, and I would advise to not trust it. Now, another thing to check is also click on the page and see how many followers that page has. A company such as Argos will have thousands upon thousands of followers. If you click on it and the page only has several hundred followers, odds are it is not legit. Out of the whole world, and especially even just the country you're in, odds are there would be thousands of people following and liking that page. If there are only hundreds, it will likely not be legitimate. I've seen this from companies such as Argos, PC World, John Lewis, you name it. It's absolutely rife. But people share them, friends and family then share them, click on links, put in information, and unfortunately it spreads and spreads and spreads. So next time you see somebody that has shared it, just leave a comment on it or message them directly. Just say, look, this is a scam. If you want any more information on how to spot these, let me know. We can talk through it, or share this resource to them. Sharing is caring when it comes to online safety and spreading knowledge that will help people. Now, another one that keeps cropping up once again is people that share these posts saying, if you don't copy and paste this to your profile, all of your information will be stolen. Once again, it is a case of that bots and systems have been set up to search through Facebook posts for these phrases. A lot of the information that is said that you have to copy and paste is not legit in any way, shape or form. It is there to play upon your fears about losing your profile. If you are ever unsure, never click, never copy and paste, and do your research. As I have stated before, one of the key things that you can do is to spend a bit of time, look into something, do your research, do your homework, protect yourself. Quite often when things such as identity theft and identity fraud happen, it can be a massive time-consuming task to undo the damage that has been done, and there isn't actually the promise that you'll get anything back from people if you've given them money or information. Now, the things I've covered, they are in no way, shape or form an exhaustive list of things that you will see on Facebook. Scams crop up to exploit people each and every day. But by taking the time to look at things such as verified pages, see if it is verified or not, look at the amount of followers a page has, thinking, is this offer too good to be true? You can try and protect yourself. So that's a brief overview of Facebook scams, how you can look to protect yourself, how you can look to protect others, and any questions, comments, queries, by all means, ask away, leave a comment, and always try to help. So thank you ever so much for listening. Do hope you enjoy the rest of your day and keep safe. Bye.